the Ringside Club Paul, A.O., Blame Boogie, Chad Law. The power's back, triple power bomb. The big dog trio in the stream yard. Go outside, hit the venue guard. It's all love when you see us, Lord. Back to the pad, on air for the pod. Ringside Club, intro to the squad. Let the show start. Yep.
What up, yo?
Peace.
Adding in.
Peace. What up with it, man? World? Episode 113, you heard?
We here right now. Make sure y'all getting active with us on the X, on the YouTube. It's the good brothers, the RSC, Younger Dava himself, Chad Law, alongside me, my brethren, A.O. Baker, getting our circles and everything right. We letting y'all know we live.
Yeah, man. Last episode of the 2-4.
Yeah.
As we transition into the
25. They was asking. It was like, yo, what happened? Y'all taking a break? It's like, yo, it's holiday break, man. Cut us some slack. We got 100-something episodes. Catch up, man. Catch up to us. Just check us out. You see the jokes. You see what's going on. Everybody talks about the same fucking topics and rundown. So we need a little recalibration over here at the Ringside Club. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is getting furious talking about this shit. Some of this AEW talk. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of debates, a lot of that, but you know.
Keep it a buck. I have no idea what anybody's talking about. I haven't really been on socials too tough.
It's the venues. You know how the AEW should. We'll talk more about that as we break down, but
I love the
Hammerstein Ballroom.
They did like Beautiful. 3 shows from Hammerstein.
That was fun. Fun watch.
Final Battle, Ring of Honor. I got Ring of Honor on right now, actually, Honor Club, just to follow up on Final Battle. It's on. I'm not like actively watching it, but just in general, like I just love that look and that vibe. Surprisingly, I have not been to the Manhattan Center. I have not been to the Hammerstein Ballroom. Have you ever been?
I've only been once.
Word.
But other than that, the venue is a really good spot. I really want AEW to do more venues just like that.
I think they are
2025. I think they are. Like I feel it too. I feel they're going to scale into that area, but I think that is the best look. It just feels good. I don't want to have to look into the crowd and see like tarp and crickets. You know what I'm saying? Like I like this vibe of homie. You know what I'm saying? This is good television, which is why I think this is probably one of the best Dynamites that I've seen last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was an awesome Dynamite.
And Collision. Actually, Collision. I'd say Collision was really good. Dynamite was cool for the pre-tape.
Collision, I'm trying to remember. Did I see the last episode of Collision was the Osprey Ricochet match, right?
No. Was it? Hold on. I'm bugging. Yes, it was. It definitely was.
It was, right?
Wipe his ass with toilet paper. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So I mean, the vibe was dope. And just like because it's such a unique venue, you know, it just really, really looks really dope on TV. They had I can tell like this was probably for the camera crew, like a kid in the candy store type of vibe. They just had interesting angles upon interesting angles to shoot. So it was dope. But yeah, man, before we get into all that, like we mentioned, this is episode 113. Been away for about 2 weeks, but we're back here to close out the year.
Holiday break. It's all right, man. Yeah. Let us live. Y'all know y'all watching everybody's podcast. Everybody got their take, so it's like, all right, we having a little winter break. You know what I'm saying? The Good Brothers is working. We got a lot going on outside of here, outside of the X, and outside of the YouTube and the RSC pod, but we still been very much so connected. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing what's happening. I'm watching enough content. We're going to talk about ROH. We're going to talk about some of our favorite moments of the year. We'll talk about some of our predictions for the 2025. We'll give a World's End prediction because that is this Saturday in Orlando, Florida. It's going to be a doozy. You know, looking forward to. I always enjoy a good Thursday night with y'all, man. Salute to y'all that's watching this right now online. Thank y'all. 113
good folks that just reposted us over there at the BG Dubs Black Guy Wrestling
Shout
Pod.
Out to the guys.
I mean,
the Geysers.
Got some working with those good fellas over
Yeah,
there.
we heard. We
Yeah,
heard.
yeah. Yeah. Good shit. But yeah, man, this is the Ringside Club. Head over to the ringsideclub.com. Past episodes, the future episodes, the merch, the socials. You can catch us everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Threads, X, of course. We're live streaming right
That's
now.
a fact. We on right now.
Definitely live on YouTube as well. And yeah, you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all other podcast platforms.
Gang.
I mean, we're here. Peace to the good Sir Blaine Book. And we're here, man. So I figure we can start off since we have this World's End pay-per-view coming up this Saturday. Peace to everybody out there that caught that 2-for-1 deal like I did. Uh cop the last two AEW pay-per-views on
Bleacher Report.
nah, on Triller. They don't even drop
Oh, on
on
Triller.
anymore. Yeah. Bleacher Report was terrible.
I said Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report was terrible, man. Worst thing about Bleacher Report in my uh experience was not necessarily watching the show, but it was trying to go back and stream if you ever wanted to watch it again. It was so bad. Like it was a lot for me anyway, it would just like freeze and kind of drop out altogether. But Triller's dope. I was able to migrate everything that I had on Bleacher Report. I bought every AEW pay-per-view since the beginning of the company. So I was
Yeah.
able to migrate all of that Bleacher Report over
Hey,
to
that's
Triller.
love.
Yeah. I think I got all of them on my Triller account except for one that I think I bought on my cable, my Verizon one year. Um, but we have World's End coming up this Saturday, Sunday. What day is it?
Orlando. Yelling for a treat.
I think this is gonna be on Saturday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, December
Saturday
28th
pay-per-view.
from Orlando, Florida. We have World's End. This is the second World's End. Of course, last year was up here in Nassau Coliseum, was it? In Long Island?
Was it?
I think the first one, yeah, World's End was in Long Island.
Edge had a match with Christian. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, this is the
Oh
Devil
yes, because
reveal.
MJF lost the world title to Samoa Joe.
He did.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. What a time that was. A year already since.
That was coming off of the first Continental Classic as well. Continental
Yes.
Classic is almost like synonymous at this point with World's End. They both coincide at the same time. So we have, as of Wikipedia right now, 8 matches. We have Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. That's a Continental Classic semifinal. Okada versus Ricochet, Continental Classic semifinal. It'll be, what am I reading? Okada or Ricochet versus Kyle Fletcher. Oh, yeah. So basically, like we'll have Okada or Ricochet versus Kyle Fletcher or Will Ospreay to win that Continental Championship. We have the AEW World Title on the line. John Moxley defended against Orange Cassidy, Hangman Page, and Jay White. We have the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring on the line. MJF against Adam Cole, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett in the tuck over
Corner.
there.
Adam Cole.
Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa, Tijuana Street Fight for the AEW Women's World Championship. We have Konosuke Takeshita against Powerhouse Hobbs for the International Championship, and Mercedes Moné versus Chris Stat singles match for the TBS Championship. Every title, I believe, is on the line. The trios and the tag team haven't been announced, but looks like every other
yeah, go figure.
Yeah, every other title is
Go figure,
on the line
man.
right now.
Private
Not
Party got the
TNT.
belts.
TNT isn't here.
Private Party got the belts, and it's just been like, yeah, black champs, you know the vibes. You know what I mean? Do your thing. Do your thing on Rampage or whenever you guys get some time. They're not even on Rampage right now. It's fucking crazy.
I think the last episode of
Crazy.
Rampage is tomorrow. Matter of fact.
Finally, good riddance.
Last episode of Rampage is tomorrow.
Good riddance. It's had its
and
run.
Then right after that, it will be Dynamite simulcasted on Max.
It's gonna be a fun year for AEW when it comes to that. Like it'll be a lot easier to definitely access AEW like on the go for us Max users. So that'll be nice.
I don't have Max yet. I had it. I've been an on and off Max guy.
Yeah, Max. So I think that's actually going to be a pretty fun watch for AEW in 2025, seeing how this transpires. Like, so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely going to be worthwhile. Yeah, we've got some good things to look forward to for AEW. I think in 2025. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let the ratings and all that shit just diffuse me. Like they're trying to turn things around for the better. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that certain wrestlers get the shine and they just turn things around creatively. That's what I really hope best for AEW. Like creatively, like they just got to get a little stronger, man. This Death Riders thing stinks. This shit is bad. Like, like they're the least intimidating guys on the whole roster. And it's just like sometimes I just want the Hurt Syndicate to just be the focal point of the show. Like how Bobby Lashley had his TNA reign. I aspire for the Hurt Syndicate to have every belt in AEW. I know I'm far fetched for that one, but if y'all are Hurt Syndicate fans like I am, Bobby with the world title, Shelton with the TNT title, they both got the tag titles. MVP joined in and they got the trios titles. The Hurt Syndicate in 2025 is what I want more of for AEW. If we got to go on a quick little tangent about, what we want for AEW in 2025, or each company, we could even do something, you know what I'm saying? Just like what we want. I want more Hurt Syndicate for 2025. I damn near want Swerve to join in. I want Max Caster to join in. I don't really care for Ricochet to join in anymore.
Yo, to be honest, I look at that group and I'm not sure I really want too many other people to join. I like the dynamic. If I would pick somebody to join, like I really like Lio Rush and Action Andretti as a tag team, to be honest.
You know what's crazy? I think Action Andretti is going to be back in the Jericho Vortex this year.
I don't see that. Why?
Yeah. I think he's going to be mini Jericho.
What makes you say that? Where'd that come from?
I think that he's going to have another match with Jericho out the blue, and Jericho's going to latch onto it. Andretti's going to win, and then somehow he will be a part of the next phase of Jericho. Like he'll be like a mini Chris Jericho. Like I could see Action Andretti breaking off from what's going on. After this Lio Rush thing doesn't really work out to the best of their abilities, I think Action Andretti and Jericho are going to find themselves again because that still hasn't been explored. And I just know that for some reason we're just going to get more Jericho. So it's like you might as well get used to it, you know?
I don't know. I don't see Action. There's no reason why I think Action Andretti and Jericho cross paths at all. To be honest with you, unless I missed something, I don't see where that would come. I like the tag team dynamic of Lio Rush and Action Andretti. To me, has been pretty dope. They the split, I guess, with Top Flight, and they seem that was cool. I was watching. It seems as though like Leo and Andretti lean a little bit more heel. And
yeah,
Leo was already been.
It's a quiet split. I feel like it's starting to get louder, but it's been brewing. And Layla Gray is great to watch. So shout out to Layla Gray too.
Yeah, Layla Gray is dope. Like they planted those seeds and had that friction for a little bit. It's not a big blow up, but I think also because like Lio Rush has been somebody that got one of those cards and hasn't done like the kayfabe corny shit that Ricochet has done, that forced them to come outside and say, look, you can't kiss ass and be a part of the syndicate. Leo didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it would make sense for them to be like the tag team, within the Hurt Syndicate and give them a bit more of a dynamic feel. Like between Shelton Benjamin and and the almighty Bobby Lashley, you're just getting like a big, technically sound dude that's about to bust your ass. And what happens with Leo and Action if they join in, you add a little bit more of the high flying aspect that they don't already have, but Italian kind of nice. But other than that, man, like I don't know that I really want to see too many people part of the I think once you start adding people, this person, that person, like I'm, Action, not Action, Max Caster, that's not gonna work, bro.
Mercedes, there's a lot of people that I think the Hurt Syndicate can intertwine with. And I think there comes a time when they're going to have to be the ones to knock the Death Riders on their ass because they just can't be the elite. I just can't trust Kota Ibushi to come back and be the one to bring everyone together.
It's going to be Omega. And what I said 15 episodes ago is what's going to happen. Kenny Omega is going to be the guy that beats Moxley. Like, who else it's not going to be anybody else, bro.
I can really see it being Darby this year, man. I see it being Darby, bro. I see Darby being the one to hold the belt finally. Like, I'm Darby gang. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been a day one Darby Allin fanatic. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy.
Yeah, no
So,
doubt.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
No
I've been
doubt.
here for the Darby Allin love. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't knock Darby Allin's hustle, bro. He puts on some of the best matches all the time. He puts his body on the line. At this point, you got to get used to the fact that, yo, if you watch Darby Allin crash and burn and die in the ring, then that's just what comes with being a Darby Allin fan. You know what I'm saying? The bumps he takes is fucking egregious, but this is what we love Darby Allin for.
Yo, the bump on the side of the apron, I think that was the Osprey match.
Dog,
Holy
I
smokes.
I mean,
That's
besides the
crazy.
Styles Clash, I know we always get into it, bro. I fucking hate that Styles Clash, man. I Arthur fist clench every time I see the goddamn Styles Clash performed and then kicked out of like it's a big fucking deal,
Oh,
bro.
well,
It
I'm gonna enjoy
it
that shit every
yo,
time.
bro, when I see it, I know you be watching it like this nigga is losing his mind right now, and I'm loving it.
Enjoying myself every time, bro.
Bro, I hate
And you know
in
why? Because it's
2025.
it's also not AJ Styles doing the move, so what does it matter?
Yo, 2025, please. I just want to see wrestlers preserve finishers again, man. Let's take it back to the era. Let's take it
It's
back to
not
the
Will Ospreay's finisher.
let's take it back to the essence and stop using other people's moves and just
Nope.
continue on with your own move set, man. Please. That's
Nope.
all I want for 2025, bro. Real
You
talk.
would have been the dude that would have told Randy Orton don't use the diamond cutter.
Yo, but nobody else used the diamond cutter like Randy Orton for that whole period, damn near.
Who's using the Styles Clash?
He's still an active wrestler, man. Come on. He's still active.
What are we talking about?
He's still active, man.
No, bro. It's not his finisher, so whatever. It is what it is, man. Dog, there are too many wrestlers for you to think that somebody isn't going to use somebody else's move at this point.
It's just
And the
when it comes
fact, in as far as kayfabe is concerned, the easiest explanation in the world is it's not his finisher, so it's not as expertly executed as when AJ Styles does it. Why does that not work for you?
it just don't.
Owen Hart used the sharpshooter. He never beat anybody with it. I
Everyone in the
understand that there was a feud between the Hart brothers, but he never beat anybody with that move.
you know what it is? It's the false finishes that really just get to me with Will Ospreay matches. It's just too much, man. Like I
Oh,
just know when I watch an AEW match, there's no particular move that's going to finish somebody. That's the only
cool.
gripe I have. Like it's just like, what can I throw at everyone and then beat them with a fucking flick of the wrist and a roll up? Like that's how I feel when it comes to some of these matches. That grinds my gears. That's all.
Works
I
for
know.
me, brother.
Like maybe I gotta watch more NWA and get back to the roots and get back to the essence, man.
The funniest shit is what you dislike and what you just said about NWA. A lot of that happened before the World Wrestling Federation, as you know, it was a thing, and the NWA was doing it. You go back and watch some of those older matches where wrestling was wrestling before Vince McMahon really got his tentacles, hooked on that shit. You probably would have disliked all of them joints. You probably would have disliked Flair versus Steamboat like a motherfucker, man.
I
And
just
think about
know
how crazy you would sound talking about, oh, I really wish Flair would just beat him with the figure four instead of a roll up. But then you go and watch how amazing those matches were.
it's too
Nobody
much
should be
of
able to
the
survive the figure
impact.
four if it's Ric Flair's move.
Bro, you see how WWE protects the pile
I
driver?
don't give
Like
a shit
this
about what
shit looks
WWE is
like
doing if we ain't
Cody
talking
and
about
Randy
WWE.
are about to be in a wheelchair. But now we've just got X amount of pile drivers on ring aprons that are
You're
just
right.
kicked outable.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry if I'm the old man when it comes to this
Nah,
sometimes.
you
It's
are
just
just a
like,
guy that looks at one way of doing things and has to apply that to everybody.
there's gotta be some grace, man. Some type of like, yo, we see y'all treating the
Can you
pile
just
driver with some
actually
respect.
admit that you really want wrestling to kind of just be one thing? Is that I think that's the point. You want wrestling to be this one thing. There are these rules, and if you go outside of that, then it's wrong. Yes
And
or
I
no?
guess that's what makes AEW all elite and
Am
different
I
from
right or wrong? Is that a fair assessment of your viewpoint when you watch wrestling? I like these five things, and if it's not these five things, if it goes outside of, if it gets to 6, 7, and 8, it's wrong.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll
That's
give
all. That's my whole point is you want what you want, and if it's not that, then it's wrong. I'm not that. I look at this federation. If you have this way of producing your thing, Imagine listening to a Dr. Dre beat and saying if it ain't the way that Dr. Dre would do it, then that shit is whack. Because he had success with Eminem and 50 Cent and NWA and Snoop. He can't be wrong. So if you're not doing what Dre is doing, then you're not doing it right.
Understood. It's understood on that one. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. And that's I try to enjoy AEW when it comes to the content of pure wrestling, but goddamn, man, I'm so ingrained in my ways, and I'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? This is the way I've came up enjoying my wrestling to the point where it's like sometimes I just want better for some of the ways things are executed over there as a fan of the product. That's all.
But why is it you want better? You want what you want.
Dog, this shit just be looking like Mad TV sometimes, man. Like AEW is Mad TV on any given Wednesday. Like I don't know what I'm gonna get. It's gonna be a mixed sketch comedy of wrestling. It's gonna be some fucking heat. Like I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be like, yo, this shit is fire. But I'm also gonna laugh. And it's like, I don't always wanna I mean, I guess I gotta accept that it's Mad TV. And that's why I've always said this is Mad TV of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It's sketch comedy of wrestling because you just don't know the fucking hilarity that shit can end up being when you watch that product sometimes in the way shit ends up turning out. But
no doubt.
you know what I mean? That's fine. I'm old man on the lawn with my wrestling, y'all.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about World's End.
Man is younger than me and older than me at the same time. Craziness. All right, we got World's End. I figure it makes sense to start with the semifinals of the Continental Classic. Osprey versus Fletcher and Okada versus Ricochet, because the winner of those two matches will compete against each other in the finals later on that night, which I like. Some old King of the Ring vibes. I like the one night tournament vibes. Deadly Game was another one at Survivor Series, so that should be pretty dope. And what's probably going to happen, there might be like a little bit of an injury angle or exhaustion or something from those first two matches is going to come back to play a role in the finals. But let's start with Osprey Fletcher. Who you see winning that match to go on to the finals?
I see this being Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay is bound to take this. It's damn near inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would he not win this match after having a loss to Kyle Fletcher? You know what I mean? Like, this shit is bound to happen. So
I think this is technically their rubber match, right?
This is
Because like
their rubber
his
match.
first Dynamite match was against Fletcher and he beat him, and then Fletcher just beat him.
We have to get to Osprey Okada. It's the biggest sell on that pay-per-view without even having to sell it like prematurely. Like, you know what I'm saying? This isn't even advertised. This is something that the fans are going to get live and direct. We're all going to get live and direct. Is Okada Osprey 5, I believe it is. Oh no, it's Kenny Omega and Okada. I mean, I don't know how many times Okada and Osprey have fought.
Well, Osprey and Okada have a pretty long history. Yeah,
we're getting this match on pay-per-view. So
I'll pull it up actually.
There's no reason that this is going to divert from the plan. I don't see this being a case of Fletcher and Okada. This would be a big deal if it's Fletcher and Okada. It's a big star to build around for the up and coming, but I just don't see it, man. I just think Osprey gets his win back. He's taken a lot of losses throughout the Continental Classic, and he needs to get this win back against Fletcher. Fletcher can continue to survive. Cal's family is going to continue to thrive in 2025. Ricochet Okada, I think, is going to be really interesting. It's Osprey being the only true babyface that's left in the Continental Classic. The rest are heels. So Ricochet and Okada will easily make Okada the babyface in that match. Easily, Okada will be the babyface of the match, and he will get the babyface win. And then he'll be the heel for the main event or the semi-main event.
Yeah, no, Ricochet is definitely the heel. I think they've done a really dope job of giving Kyle Fletcher some really big wins in the Continental Classic, and solidifying him as one of those up and coming wrestlers and an up and coming heel. Fans are on board as far as booing him, so they've done a real good job of getting this persona off, away from Will Ospreay, because it was born out of his relationship with Will Ospreay. But throughout this Continental Classic, you've been able to see him maneuver with different people as he moves on and racks up points. But yeah, like because this is the Will Ospreay's story for the Continental Classic has been, man, just what you said. Actually, I had a couple of really big losses, a couple on pay-per-view. I need this to kind of rebuild, especially going into a brand new year. We saw that conversation with Darby Allin, where Darby Allin is kind of really focused on, you know, competing basically for the soul of AEW against the Death Riders, and I need you with me. Osprey's like, yo, yeah, but I got to take care of me first. I got to get my wins up. I want to win this Continental Classic. I got to get, my momentum back. So they've done a good job as far as what these two, speaking of Fletcher and Osprey, of really carving out what their lanes are. Osprey's going to get that win. He's going
I
to
think
continue
so.
that momentum into the finals. And because they've done a really good job of building Fletcher up through this tournament, he can take this loss, especially because he's a heel and he's a young dude still on the come up,
He
and
still
he's
got
fine.
time.
But he's still coming out of this tournament better than he was going into the tournament. So Osprey over Fletcher, and then Okada versus Ricochet. Like Ricochet is I really like this persona, but this has always been Okada's tournament to lose. You know what I mean? Like I personally still think that Okada is going to, win, to be honest. Um, but that match, that inevitable one-on-one match, Okada versus Osprey, is going to be one of those basically, where they're going to go. And because it's on pay-per-view without commercial breaks, I think they're going to get a lot of time to do what it is that they do, and a lot of space and a lot of room. And because the rules are what they are, actually, the time thing probably not, unless they change the time length from 20 minutes because it's the finals. Unless that's different, it'll be a 20-minute sprint, but they'll pack a lot of shit in 20 minutes. Um, but fast forward to the finals, I got Okada versus Osprey, and Okada's taking that W. I think, you know, I'm really not sure who beats Okada for this title. But I always thought that he was gonna kind of go through this tournament and just show those glimpses of what Okada actually is and what he brings to the table.
He's got to keep that for sure.
Yeah, I think he keeps it. I'm not sure who he actually loses it to. He might hold this shit down into the next Continental Classic next year, to be honest with you.
I think he
Which would be dope. Like you don't need to defend this tournament one title throughout the year, but I'm gonna go with Okada for the dub.
if it gives him something to do, that's fine. Like I think it's apparent that like he's gotten the money and he's ran off and he's got nothing else to do. The elites disappeared and it's not happening for a faction of Okada. So
I mean,
keeping the Continental Division,
Okada versus speaking of Omega is gonna be something that wakes him up also. But yeah, I agree.
it's just like sure, like I guess just lock him up in the Continental Division and then just let him defend the belt ever so randomly. The end. And that's the C2, ladies and gentlemen.
There's been some fire matches coming
It's
out of
been
this
some good
C2.
matches. Good
Yeah.
matches. Not really much stories, but we'll live with it. It all culminates to Osprey and Fletcher, essentially.
I don't know, like let me see if I could pull this table up in the meantime.
I think after this tournament, I'd love to see Brody King go to NXT. Here's my NXT prediction of the
Yo,
week.
nigga, why? Please. Brody King versus Osprey was so fire the other
Brody
day.
King gotta just go be his own man and just be the man somewhere else because Brody King is that dude. He's
Man,
fire.
yo, I hope NXT cuts you a check next year, dog.
Yo, if I can get to Orlando on a regular basis, I'd be there, whoop that tricking in the crowd and just going crazy for fucking Soul Ruka and yo, are you kidding me? Me in the front row with Jada Parker about to bop down to the ring? Come on, man. I'm going viral on the CW network. Going super viral. I
I
love
said I'll be
NXT, man.
whoop that tricking.
You know what I mean? I love NXT. But
I
yeah,
think
Brody King did
Mortos,
great. He did great.
Beast Mortos probably has the same role that Daniel Garcia had last year, where even though he's not picking up a whole heap of wins, is more eyes regularly on what it is that he can actually do. So I think his stock went up quite a bit.
You want
Um,
to know a hidden gem prediction? I feel like I'm just going to sprinkle predictions out throughout the course of every name that we drop, but I think Daniel Garcia will hold the TNT title for a while. I think he'll have the belt just very quietly. Like that'll be his moment to shine, and he'll have like a extensive run. And then towards the summer, I'm blanking on the summer pay-per-view name, but I think he'll run into Bobby Lashley
It's like
and
Double or Nothing, like May, something like that.
maybe Double or Nothing or Fight for the Fall, not Fight for the Fall, or Fighter Fest or one of them. He'll run into Bobby Lashley, and Bobby's just gonna kill him and just take the TNT title,
Yo,
like
Bobby,
Brock
nah,
Lesnar
well,
style.
Shelton's calling for it though. You think he beat Shelton?
I think Garcia beat Shelton along the way, and then Bobby is the one that's just like, yo, dog, I'm Bobby Lashley. Like I'm like they're gonna put the Brock Lesnar battery on Bobby Lashley sooner or later. I just have a hope and a feeling for it. And I think that's gonna be the moment when like Daniel Garcia has his like breakthrough, like, yo, he just got killed by Bobby Lashley and lost the TNT title after he's had it for like 6 to 8 months. He's defended it. It's just, and then all of a sudden he ran into Bobby and Bobby killed him in 3 minutes.
Yeah, the cool thing about the TNT title is that they've kind of built that up to be like their workhorse at different times, their workhorse title. So
Yes.
think back to like when Darby Allin had the title. And the
Yes.
story over the course of his reign was he's more and more tape on his body, tape him up, glue him up. Who is actually going to be the guy to beat him? It should be
That's a
easy pickings
fact.
by the time it gets it out. That'd be kind of dope to do that with not the same story, but again, like a workhorse title type of vibe with Daniel Garcia, where he's picking up some really, really dope wins. That shit should be defended every week. Run him on TV every week defending that championship.
I agree.
They can do those call outs and all that all the time. Commander's another dude that just picked up a pretty big win in Ring of Honor. He's the speaking of TV
No
titles.
word. It's the
Yeah.
God right there.
Commander just won the TV championship in Ring of Honor.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Final Battle.
Are you kidding me?
Did you watch Final Battle?
No, I just saw it in highlights.
There was some. My favorite matches were probably the Commander match. The Nigel McGuinness versus Lee Moriarty was a dope match. Pure rules. Athena versus, hey man, Billy Starks. It ain't.
It was. There's
It
just
ain't
no
happening, man.
competition. There's no comp. That's all.
Nah,
There's no comp for Athena right now.
it's not only that though. It's like Billy Starks to me just is not ready.
Oh, I
You know
knew
what I'm
that.
saying?
I felt the vibes of that one.
Yeah, Billy Starks just isn't ready. And not that I was a regular watcher of Ring of Honor much this year, but it's just that I didn't. It doesn't seem like she's progressed a whole hell of a lot between last year and this year. But yeah, nah, Commander's the TV champion. A great match, like a 6-pack challenge or whatever they call that match. Um, that was dope. I'm just running through the Continental Classic, like just some of these names that were participants here. Everybody came across pretty dope, man. Man said Brody King to NXT.
Yeah, I think him to NXT, Buddy Matthews feuding with Brody. With Aleister Black. House of Black becomes the House of White. The House of White splits off and they
Well,
become a
look, I,
colorful
I I
faction.
say this, man. Since Raw is about to go back to like 7 hours, just put everybody on one fucking show.
Yo, dog, we got SmackDown 3 hours. We got Raw Unlimited. It's gonna be insane for the
I'm not watching
2025.
that shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be heavy. I don't know if I could dedicate the whole Friday. And now that they got rid of AEW, they knew what the fuck they were doing. They knew what the fuck was going
Man,
on.
I'm not watching a 3 hour SmackDown, a 3 hour Raw.
That's gonna be rough.
Dog,
Yo.
I would be. I've been watching like what I enjoy about TNA is that there's one show. That's it. You know what
Fair,
I'm saying? It's a
fair.
condensed. It's a much smaller roster. Like I'm of the opinion that we really don't need as much wrestling. Like it's so oversaturated at this point. Like if you give me 1 hour show a week with maybe one featured match, a couple of promos, I'm good. Like give me an hour a week and then I could, get up for the pay-per-view like the superstars. Give me WWF Superstars 11 a.m. Saturday morning and
Yo,
then give me the Royal
TNA
Rumble.
TNA's quietly putting up some good numbers, like still, like good
TNA's
content,
doing a great job.
like very fun. Moose is X Division champion. I love it. I love to see it. Even with the people that are leaving, there's still a wide variety of people that are there right now. Where it's like, well, next spot up, like
Step
Trent
up.
Seven, you're out of here. All right, Mike Bailey, you going? Well, a couple people that's going to have to step up now. Like, there's more than enough
Yeah,
people on that
step
roster
up.
that are capable.
You look in that world title picture, like I would not be surprised. Like I know we have Hendry versus Nemeth, I think is coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up. I think Hendry finally takes it.
Yeah. I think that's happening. Who's got the money in the bank, like the contract right now?
Stop, Cass, stop.
Right. So I could see like Kaz beating Hendry, Santana beats Kaz. Maybe it's a three-way at some point, some weird way of getting there. Um, they'll figure the world title picture out. You know, Hendry again, like this is why I say like those long reigns, you don't necessarily need him. The pop is really going to be for the chase finally happening, right? Hendry finally gets that world title win. He doesn't need to have that title for 6 months. He doesn't need a fucking year reign. We don't need him to finish his story. We just need him to
He
win,
kind of
get the
fizzled.
pop.
Like, the
But
popularity's still there, but it just ain't
no,
as what
it's
it
not at
was.
his peak.
Yeah,
It's not at
like
its peak. So it's
they
one of
didn't
those
stretch
things
him out
like
to the
if you're
side.
gonna do it, you have to do it now while it's still some you can it's
Stizzle.
not at its peak, right? But if he wins the title, you can see his popularity kind of if it doesn't plateau, it'll start to go up a little bit more just because of the and then you capitalize on that and have somebody beat him to get a lot of heat on that person that beats him. I don't think Kaz is the right one, but I can see them doing it.
Yo, dog. Us even speaking Kaz into existence, the fact that he could be the ones that just like cause Hendry the moment is like, yo, TNA got to now move in that direction, man.
But
Kaz is the dude.
you need somebody that you can hate to have somebody else beat that guy. You know what I'm saying? And for me, Kaz, I'm just indifferent. I don't hate him. I just I don't want to watch him. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying? And
he's
that's not
very
the guy
Baron
that you.
Corbin levels of like, yo, go away, my dude. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
I'm
man.
indifferent on Kaz.
Like, he's
Um,
having his resurgence run that every OG TNA vet has gotten when the main event picture, whether it's Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Eric Young, everyone that was an OG TNA guy has got their run, and now Kaz is having his moment. I damn near would rather Jeff Hardy be the world champion over Kaz.
see that. To be honest with you, I can see that. But I like just generally speaking, I like what TNA has been doing.
I
Somehow
do too.
we've gotten off of World's End on the TNA. Let's get back to World's End. So you have Okada or Osprey winning the classic.
I have Okada winning the Continental
Okada.
Classic.
Okay. We have a four-way match, AEW World Title on the line. Mox against Cassidy, against Page, against Jay White. Mox is retaining this.
Definitely retaining that.
Yeah, Mox is retaining this. Like I think if this had been maybe Hangman Page versus Mox one-on-one, I'd probably be a little bit like, oh shit, I don't know. This could go either way, or maybe 60-40, at least 70-30. This is not a 25% chance either way that Mox wins. This is a 100% chance that Mox walks out of here with the title. You know, he's already beaten Orange Cassidy.
I
Jay
can't
White
believe
and Hangman
Pockets got
Page.
back in the fold. Like, when he popped up with the
This is
cameraman shit, I was just
placeholder.
like,
Yeah. This is just placeholder again, man. Like I'll beat this drum until the end of time. But a title reign is only as hot as the feud. It has nothing to do with the wrestler. It's the feud. And John Moxley is not really in a specific feud with somebody that makes the title hot right now. He
the
has this
title's almost
mission.
not a factor. He's like reminding you that, like, yo, y'all don't even want this title, so I'm not bringing it around. And like, no one's really like
He
going for
has
the gusto.
he has this mission, right? I think like had this been like a Darby versus Mox, for example, one-on-one, there's enough
High stakes.
yeah, there's enough fire and passion and everything that Darby, and you know for a fact he's going to try to do everything in his power to win this match. So Darby Allen versus Mox would feel a little bit hotter to me. I would at least believe that there's a chance that Darby wins that. Same thing with Page if it was one-on-one. But he already beat Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now he's back in the fold. You know
yeah.
what I do think? I think 2025 we will see more focal point on Hangman Page in AEW. I think he'll go back to being one of the prime stars of AEW.
I mean, Page, I think, is always AEW's main character. He's like the guy all the time. It's just not, he's not the focal point, but a lot of the vibe and the storylines kind of always have revolved around him. Like those big moments, he hasn't been that far away. You know what I mean? Um,
Agreed.
the feud of the year in a lot of people's eyes for 24 coming out of AEW would have been Swerve versus Page, which had nothing to do with a world championship specifically. It was about, I want to cost you, I want to do this to you, I want to do that to you. It wasn't just about the spirit of competition. But if you add a world champion, world championship reign, imagine like somehow Page is the guy that comes out of this match. Swerve's bullseye is right back on him. You know what I'm saying? At some point. And then you have all of that personal issue with the roles reversed of it's not Swerve holding the title with Hangman coming after him. It's the other way around.
Correct.
Like there's a lot of heat that can come out of that shit. But yeah, Mox is walking out with this.
I don't see Mox losing it. Definitely, he's not losing that no time soon. I think he'll have a stronghold on the belt for quite some time.
Until Omega's ready to take it.
I think it'll be interesting how Omega and Moxley interact. I think they could definitely do another flamethrower barbed wire lights out match on the anniversary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they could do another one of those. I mean, to me, it's just as simple as, this guy has been talking about AEW and wanting to burn it down in his image and blah, blah, blah. And then you have like it's almost like the Sting savior, what they did with WCW. Somebody has to come and save the soul. Who's the baby face, the real white meat baby face, the hero, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Somehow we'll get that reuniting of the original Elite. I don't know how we actually tell that story. What's the interaction between Omega and the Bucks? But we'll get there.
I think so.
By the way, fucking Wrestle Kingdom, Gabe Kidd versus Omega is right around the corner. That's next week, actually.
So that's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, that's next week, and then Wrestle Dynasty right after. I forget which. I think this is on the 5th, actually, on Wrestle Dynasty. But yeah,
shit, let's get the world's end card flowing through. Still got like 10 matches left, right?
Well, we have MJF versus Adam Cole.
Lord have mercy, please. Let's get that
Just
shit
end it.
man.
Yeah, I think this is pretty simple. Matt Taven, Mike Bennett turn on Cole. Join MJF. MJF beats Cole. We out of here. We'll get some kind of interaction with Kyle O'Reilly at some point, if not that night on Dynamite, where he finally picks the side of his man's.
Unfortunately, this feud ain't ending. It's faction warfare that's going to lead to for Revolution. Bias time while MJF films movies, and Adam Cole needs things to do. Undisputed Ever reunion versus MJF in the Kingdom.
Yeah, that's that. We have Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
tough.
This is a really tough one. Like, I've always had like Willow as the person that beats Mercedes, but Chris Stat, they seem like they've been heating her back up for this win.
Get the belt that she rightfully so had early on in her AEW developments. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like this one, I'm a little torn on. If I gotta just make a hard pick, I might still stick with my Willow beats Mercedes theory, and I might go Mercedes.
I think I'm gonna go with Statlander. I'm gonna take Stat because I don't think any title changes hands on this card, and you need something to at least like pop the crowd with something happy, considering what the main event is gonna look like with that 4-way. So I think Statlander surprises us and has another banger. It might not be the same quality as match 1, but I think it'll be the one where it's like, all right, Statlander's here to stay, and Mercedes is time to go move into the women's main event picture. Like now, it's time to just go hang with that crew.
We got Konosuke Takeshita versus Powerhouse Hobbs
for
the international championship. I'm gonna
Hobbs
go with Takeshita.
It's Hobbs' best match, but I'm definitely going with Takeshita. Like this is all on Hobbs. This is his biggest match to date.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the shit out of each other, and it's gonna be a quick pace. Like Takeshita can get in there and run with everybody.
Takeshita's gonna be a stud, man. He's a stud now.
He is right now
for 2025. Like I think he's gonna be somebody to really keep an eye out on. Like, and him and Okada's gonna bang. This is definitely gonna be a make or break match for Will Hobbs. So I'm going Takeshita. He still hasn't really had too much steam with the international title, anyways. My prediction for 2025 is that belt merges with the Continental, and it becomes the Intercontinental title in AEW.
They need to do that. They really do.
Just make an AEW Intercontinental title and then just defend that in the C2 and then just have that, because these belts are just, it's all over the place, man. Kesha don't get airtime, Okada don't get airtime, and they both are champions. So what are we doing?
And finally, Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa Tijuana street fight for the women's world title. What you got?
This is why Statlander wins, yo. You got to have something that's going to pop the crowd, because this match won't be the one that has a happy ending. Mariah May will win. It'll be a vicious, bloody match. It'll be a reminder for them that for those that aren't fucking with Thunder Rosa from a long-term standpoint, who just thought she fell off, there'll be a good reminder. But Mariah May doesn't have much significance with her title reign. It's crickets when she comes out, and it's just going to lead to more Toni Storm shenanigans. So, go on, Mariah May.
Yeah, I mean, back to my earlier point, it seems like this title reign has really just been a holding pattern to wait for Toni Storm to get back so they can get back to their thing. So yeah, I think Mariah beats Thunder Rosa. I would love a surprise here. Like nobody would see that shit coming as far as Thunder Rosa being a person, but it would be kind of dope because it's specifically a Tijuana street fight for it to be like
Right.
in her type of match. But yeah, man, like I Mariah May suffers from not having somebody that you believe is going to beat her. That's why the championship is the reign has kind of suffered, you know. But I'm going with Mariah May. So those are the 8 matches so far. They'll probably add some more. There'll be a pre-show and all that, but that's World's End coming
No
up
big
this
boom
weekend.
AJ for the pre-show, unfortunately.
I don't know. He was around for something.
It's all about the boom.
He was around on the pre-show for something recently. So one of these Hammerstein shows, he was there.
Yeah, like he's there, but he wasn't advertised for World's End.
Yeah.
I'm saying so.
Yeah.
Fortunately, won't be bringing the boom.
But that's the World's End pay-per-view. Those are the predictions. It has been said, so shall it be done. Continental Classic coming to an end. Rampage is coming to an end tomorrow. And we have that's the year 2024 for AEW. Who's been some of your favorite people coming out of AEW this year? Favorite matches, things that you enjoyed the most?
Favorite matches.
Matter of fact, let's just open this up. Just generally speaking, like what are some of your like overall highlights, match wise? Like your favorite matches, just in general, regardless of promotion. I can start it off immediately by saying early contender would be Danielson versus Sabre.
Oh, someone else gonna say Danielson versus Swerve. That was definitely a good highlight for me.
Yeah, that was a highlight as well.
That was a highlight. That was a really good match. Sting's retirement off top. It's crazy. That was already
Bucks,
in April. Like that was a while ago, bro.
A minute ago. But the Bucks versus Sting and Darby was a banger.
That was a hell of a match.
What was real cool about that match was going into it, does Sting do the
job
tradition of going out on his back, or does Tony say, fuck that, you're gonna win these titles? Tony said fuck that, and he won those titles, and had that. It was a great send-off. And as far as like retirement runs in wrestling, I think Sting has the best one that I've seen.
Has to, because I think he stays away. Like in ring wise, I think he really stays away. He'll make the cameo appearances, but I don't see him popping back in a ring like Danielson probably will at Grand Slam.
I mean, Danielson never retired though.
I know.
But yeah, like Sting is the guy. If he says he's retired, he's 100% retired. He'll pop up like anytime Darby is in peril at a big show. There's a chance you might see Sting.
Bro, we still got to go through the era where Death Riders beat the shit out of Sting, and then we got to sit through the IWC being like, nah, how they just do this to Sting? Like this, you know what I'm saying? They still got to get to that portion of the bridge.
Yeah, they gotta beat Sting up, man. Yo, imagine Mox like taking a fork to Sting's forehead, bro. You got red blood dripping down that white paint. Darby will
That's
lose his mind.
that's gonna be some shit, man. There's still some juice, you know what I'm saying, left in that story. And I think like it's gonna
Abdullah
be
the
fun
Butcher
to see
style.
what happens with Sting in 2025, how they use Sting sparingly. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he'll pop up. He'll definitely be there at All In. That's the big show.
So yeah, that's cool.
He'll be there. Yo, one of
Another
my
match,
favorite things out of 2025,
I say Roman
2024, pardon
Cody.
me, Roman and Cody.
Roman Cody, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was
I
fun.
was gonna say the tag match actually. Rock and
The whole
Roman.
the whole saga, the whole joint
Yeah.
was that whole rollout was really fun. Good
But
period of
like
time to be in.
I really just love the shit talkery. You know what I mean? Like the Rock
Yeah,
threatening to fire the ref during the match. You know what I mean? Like that was just so fun.
that was fun. That was fun. I
Yeah.
think it's really good stuff. I love the explosion of the women's division in NXT. It's been a really good highlight. Like I think that's been something that has to be spotlighted. The division that is just growing out in that whole scene.
Yeah.
Like there's some of the best women's wrestlers coming out right now. And granted, some of the matches aren't, you know what I'm saying, fucking 5-star bangers. But Trish Stratus and Lita feuded for years on end and had multiple matches, and their matches weren't the most fucking outstanding, but they had memorable moments and they paved the lane. So these women are doing the damn thing right now. So salute to them in the NXT brand. Um,
I just hope that next time somebody gets hit in the face with a brick,
what you
that's the
gonna
end of the
do,
match.
man? Come on, man. You know if it happened on Wednesday night, it would be just another 2 count. Same shit.
Yeah, sure. It's cool though. NXT, that was dope.
You know, I mean,
That was
same.
dope.
Yeah, man.
Shorty got hit in the face with a brick, 2 count, and then she got an ass to the cheek.
Yo,
Cheek to cheek.
the ass and a brick is a deadly combo, man. Get hit with an ass and a brick at the same time, man.
Holy guacamole, bro.
You get the ass thrown on you to get hit with a brick, son. You gonna be fucking deflated too, man.
Yo, the WWE Vault channel on
They
YouTube
going
is one of
ham.
my favorite things.
They're going ham right now. They just
There's
put
so much.
ECW up, I
Yeah, I
believe.
saw. Yeah, from what do you call it? One night only. One
Yeah,
night
they
stand.
tweaking. They going crazy.
That is one of my favorite things of 2024.
They going crazy. So yeah, I feel you on that. NXT Women's Division. What's another highlight? CM Punk, I guess. Like not having any drama for a change in wrestling. Like having a good year of wrestling for a change.
The Hell in the Cell match, specifically that, because man, I really wasn't too high on that feud by the time we got to that.
Yeah, we was exhausted. We was so like, pack this shit up, man.
It just felt like the tone for what it could have been, the tone felt off to me because it started to be way too much about this bracelet. I get that it was supposed to be a symbol of Drew getting under Punk's skin. I understand that, but the tone just felt really, really whack. Like these guys hate each other so much to the point that they're willing to travel, like stamp the passport so I can go over here to on site. But then we're talking about like friendship bracelets and beads and shit. Like it
Bro,
was cool at maybe for one beat or two beats of the story, but when that became the entire story, but
yeah, it
all
was
that
kind
went
of
out of
whack.
the window by the time we got to the Hell in the Cell match. And again, man, the cool thing about the Hell in the Cell is like when you have a feud that is built up that it deserves the Hell in the Cell, that's when the Hell in the Cell match really pays off.
Yes.
Just because it's whatever month we need to have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, so we got 5 Hell in a Cell matches on the pay-per-view, that's when the shit gets oversaturated and whack, just like any other match stipulation. But they took all of that history of the feud, and regardless about how I felt about it up to that point, by the time that bell rang and the match was over, I was like, nah, amazing Hell in a Cell match. It saved the feud for me. You know what I mean? And it also gave Punk something a bit more of what I think he wants to do and likes to do, the type of matches he likes to have, not specifically the blood, but just the raw and grittiness and the storytelling that he likes to bring in. We saw that with some of those the dog collar match, for example, with MJF. And I think that was really like, it reminded me of like Punk being Punk and not kind of running the hamster wheel pump.
Yeah, I remember that. That was some good times. You
That
know what I'm
might be
saying?
one of
Good
my like
moments.
as far as like WWE match of the year. That might be mine.
What else? What else we got? We got I know a lot has happened. I mean, the Netflix deal, Raw cutting back to 2 hours. Like, there's definitely been some good bright spots. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, 2 hour Raws have been
Awesome.
really
Gonna
dope.
miss them. Gonna fucking miss them, bro.
Yeah.
We got those. I don't know, man. Like, I think this year was one of the best years of wrestling. Like, I really did enjoy this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to what's to come for 2025. I have a lot of good hope
Like
in
I know that
wrestling.
we're freestyling this, but I think like if we actually sit down and list off like, some really, really dope spots from 2024, we'll find that there was a lot of really, really dope things, like really specific things that we can get
Zack
into
Sabre
detail
winning the
about.
IWGP World Title.
You already know that's a given for me. Not only Zach winning that title,
Winning the G1.
um, yeah, but Lee Moriarty also winning the Pure Championship.
Yeah, man. Shout the black champion. Shout the black champion.
I mean, it's not just black champs, bro. Like, dude is fire and had a dope match just now with Nigel McGuinness. Speaking of Nigel coming out of retirement to
Wait, what?
watch the show. Nigel McGuinness versus Lee Moriarty at Final Battle in the Pure Rules match. It was an open challenge. Nigel McGuinness answered the call, and the match was flames.
I'm not surprised it was. I actually think Nigel's going to have another hell of a run in 2025. I think he's a wild card. I think him and Danielson will pair together in
Yeah, but
2025.
Brian versus Nigel was such a treat. Like, that was dope.
I think he saves him. I think Nigel will save Brian in 2025.
Yeah, I can like there's now like a certain amount of respect, right? And you saw, a matter of fact, like when Mox turned on Brian, and I think Nigel was there on commentary. Like that hatred really turned into, oh, it's not really hatred, it's just professional dislike because I hate what they're doing to him right now.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, like Lee Moriarty versus Nigel, bro. That was fire. But Zach finally winning that championship, man. And then
It's a
the
big
next
deal.
week going over to England and wrestling for Rev Pro and getting not the biggest ovation. I actually thought it was going to be a bit bigger, but a really, really solid ovation. Um, finally bringing that belt back as the world champ. Um, it's been really interesting to watch New Japan because for all of the conversation about they've fallen off and blah blah blah, what's been interesting to me has been them figuring out who's going to be the next guys that they kind of run the company on. Like Naito, I think, in my opinion, had his last run as world champ, and that ended
Has to.
when
He has
Saber
to have
beat
had the
him.
last run, yo.
Okada isn't there anymore. This is Tanahashi's retirement year, by the way, coming up. Is John Cena's retirement year coming up. There's a lot of
So
people that,
excited. I'm excited for that one.
yeah, like Cena popping up I think Cena just is gonna work a regular schedule. I think he's gonna be a regular fixture. Um, Maybe not every week, but he'll be there often enough that he's always in the conversation.
At least. He said he's trying to have a full time run, so I think
Yeah,
that's going to be some
I
music.
mean, it could be that, like Cena on every Monday. If he's just doing the full time loop for the rest of the year, that's very, very interesting.
Good
Do
meme
you
that I saw.
you think like in 25 Cena wins another title?
I was about to veer off to that. Would you rather Cena be a Grand Slam champion and win a Continental title, or would you rather see him go for 17 on the world title? You can only
For
have
him
one.
to win 17, does that have to be the WWE championship, or would Gunther come into play?
It could be the cheat code to
Because
have
either
him.
way, it's a world, right?
Yes, so I think that would be the cheat code to like not have to have him cross paths with the Cody, Roman, Randy Orton, KO saga, and let him still be like him and Punk have their historic recap feud over the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam 2025. Like,
That would be dope. Like I think, but I look at it from the other way though. Like, and this is probably super duper fantasy booking because I don't think they want to turn Cody heel. But if they do have plans, but if they do, first of all, you can have this KO attack be, every villain needs an origin story, right? So that last attack and the package pile driver to put him, in the neck brace that he's walking around with now, that could be like the start of the tipping point for him. But anyway, getting back to Cena, imagine if Cena beats him and then Cody, hits him with a low blow. Like Cena's going to be beloved for his retirement year. So anybody getting heat on Cena is getting booed. And if you want Cody to be solidified as a heel, that's a nice way to do it.
I just can't buy into Cody as the heel, man. I just can't see that entrance and that reaction and all that just changing.
No, you have to change things. You can't have the same music.
John Cena didn't change, man. Come on, man.
Because he was never a heel.
Cody don't got to be a heel either, man.
No, what I'm saying is if you want to turn him heel, Cody can go his entire career and just, at some point it'll be the yeahs and the boos, and we'll get back on here at, episode 250 and be like, yeah, well, that shit is corny. They got to change some shit up.
I'm in the Cody verse, bro. I'm with Cody being the top babyface, man. Cody can do no wrong. You see the reaction he gets when he comes out? This guy's amazing, man. Him and Darby Allin.
I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for that to fizzle out.
He prophesized this with Darby Allin. That's why
I'm waiting for that to fizzle out. Biggest face in the world got booed before you wanted him to get booed at some point. That was Hogan. People got tired of that.
Was a heel.
No. Before he turned heel,
no,
he
Hogan
was still in yellow and red.
Heel at his core, he was a heel. His moveset, everything he did, he was just a heel. He was a heel, man. Come on.
100%. He's raking the eyes and scraping the back and all that, and people cheered him.
Cody don't do that shit. He don't need to do that shit. He can beat
but more important than the moves is telling everybody to take their vitamins and pray.
Pray that this fucking heel does not lay the smack it down on that king. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a heel.
Nobody was gonna, Hogan was out here messing around with Elizabeth on camera. And people was like, yeah, Hulkster.
It was like, bad love.
Shorty's committing adultery.
It was a lot of love.
And Randy Savage was the heel.
It was a lot of, that was a wild story.
It was crazy.
That was wild.
Wild eyes.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It was a dope year, bro.
It's a good year. I'm looking forward to 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you have one before we wrap up? One big prediction. What do you think happens? Not, what do you want to happen or what do you think happens? Something that's like a major thing that happens in 2025. That we have like a big name jump ship? Do we have an unexpected title change? Do we have an unexpected face or a heel turn? Do you see, we see TNA, for example, making some pretty big, bold moves with some of the buildings that they're trying to book now. What are we seeing landscape-wise or match or wrestler-wise for 2025? Just one headline.
One is tough.
We'll just narrow it down to one.
Ricky Starks makes his WWE debut, NXT World Heavyweight Champion by the end of the year.
I'm gonna just Ricky Starks, NXT champ. Okay.
Ricky Starks to NXT is going to be the big deal that we see in WWE news. I think that'll be the one that really gets the ball rolling with his career. I think when it comes time towards the spring, they're going to give him that shoot gimmick, that on the way out, I'm going to just come back and just do my last bit of dates and I can just say what I want kind of vibe. And that's it. That's the end of Ricky Starks in AEW. And then on to WWE, and it's going to be a big fucking deal. And I think they know that. So that's why we don't hear anything from Ricky. All we can do is just go, oh, his contract doesn't end until the spring. So NDAs, you can't say nothing, and that's just the way it goes. So it's like, all right, cool. We're not going to say nothing, but when that time comes and that contract is over, I think it's going to be a big deal for that guy.
Mm-hmm. I have eyes on what Penta does. Like we see these teases
So
already.
excited. I mean, I'm hyped, man. I'm
I
hyped.
think what the WWE production plays into a lot of Penta's strengths, and like low key, like when you start, not even low key, just straight up, when you
Yeah, high
see
key.
the entrance that they're probably going to put together for Penta, that ties in, once the crowd gets, yeah, the crowd gets in on the Cero Mero chants. Um, I bet you they're gonna tone. They're gonna. We don't need 20 a match, my bro. You're good with 5. Those chants during the match. But
I
the
hope it doesn't get
WWE
lost
machine,
in the Latin American division. That's all. That's all I just don't want for Peta. I don't want
it,
him to be the LWO leader in 6 months from now.
nah. I think like the WWE machine getting behind Penta is intriguing to me.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Because like he does enough in the ring, like bell to bell, to where you line up a couple of, a sequence where you get a couple of big, the crowd is gonna go nuts. Some of that shit like that he does, there's just a certain crispness. Like, um, damn, it's like the little wraparound clothesline move. I can't think of it right now.
The Lariat,
Nah, it's like,
Ripcord.
nah, when like you're running and he ducks under and spins over top.
If I saw it, I'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I
I
can't
know
think of it
that
right
move.
now, but
Yeah.
his is crispier than anybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Canadian destroyers, his are really, really crispy. Like,
Package power driver gonna have to go though.
I mean, Kevin Owens been there 10 years and they let him get one off, so
Not all the time. You know what I mean? It ain't no all the time
but
thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like KO been there 10 years and they only let him get one off. So Penta definitely ain't. But he has that made in Japan, which is still pretty close to a package power driver, but it's more of a Michinoku driver. Um, so that'll probably be his move. Fear factor, I think they called it.
Yes, that is it.
Yeah. But yeah, Penta with the WWE machine behind him is really, really intriguing. And like disappointments as far as Penta and specifically Penta and Phoenix, actually. I've been saying for years, man, I want to see some singles runs out of both of those guys, and it just didn't happen. Now Penta is out, and it seems like, once Ray Phoenix's contract is up, he's going to be out as well.
Phoenix is gonna
Um,
be sitting there on the sideline just looking, man. It's a damn shame. He
I
got a
mean,
while. They saying like end of 2025. Like, God damn, boy. God
yeah,
damn.
I think that shit is so wild. Like, if you're going to use them, use them. If you're not, and you know that you're just really holding on to somebody so somebody else doesn't have them, I think that you can make a better decision.
A lot of people, a lot of the you know what I'm saying, old heads that I listen to from time to time, they, as much as people want to bash them for the way they bash Tony Khan, they're like, I get it from a business standpoint. Like, what you gonna do, man? Fulfill that contract. Like, I
No,
got you here.
100% fulfill the contract. I just think like the
But they're
injury,
also like, why am I even paying you to just not even do anything with you at the same time? Like, it's
yeah,
just
like
crazy. It's a crazy parallel.
but the fulfill your contract part comes in like on the wrestler side. If you have, whatever your dates are and whatever time, keep your mouth shut. Like the way that Mox ended his run in WWE, I think it should be the blueprint for if you're leaving. I'm not gonna get on any podcasts. There's not gonna be any, weird subtweets. Do my
I'm gonna do the
job.
stupid shit, and I'm gonna just get up out of here. You want me to wear a gas mask and
I'm
get
here,
beat by a
yeah.
roll up? All right, I'm out, yo.
I'm here to play the part. Whoever the booker is, if you're booking me to do X and Y and Z, I'll do X and Y and Z, and I'm out. Right? I don't want any possible reason for somebody in the office to start making up reasons for me to be here longer than I should. On the
Nah,
flip
real talk.
side is if you're the company, like at some point we're just hoarding talent. You got a bunch of people that you're paying out. And it's like, bro,
Yo,
I get that you
Camille on that list now. Shit, we ain't never seen Camille again, man. It's
oh
just
work.
over
What
with
happened with
Camille.
Camille?
Um, it's just she's apparently got in the doghouse. So you know what I'm saying? Something just went awry, and I think that's gonna be the last we see of Camille for a while. She's gonna be on the bench with Miro and Ricky Starks in Phoenix.
Oh well.
Goofy gangster. That's all I think about when I hear Camille's name, man. I'm just like, damn, the goofy gangster done
She
bounced
was
out
the
in less than
goof.
6 months.
So
That's
is whatever
crazy.
that is about, is that why her feud with or program with Mercedes was that abrupt?
No, I mean, we could see something at World's End. She could be a surprise and cost Mercedes to give Statlander that win. That's kind of like the beacon of hope for Camille fans is she'll reappear at World's End. But if that ain't the case, then it's just like if that match ends and we see no Camille, then I think we all should just assume that it's the end for Camille in AEW.
No, but I'm saying is like, is whatever doghouse she's in now, did that happen and lead to her and Mercedes, their whole program ending that
No,
quickly?
there's no real word on that one.
Ah,
From what I
got you.
read, there's really nothing on it. It's kind of like disappear out, like out of sight, out of mind. Just disappear without a trace, and it's like really peculiar that someone of Camille's talent is like become the goofy gangster and then just disappears off TV to join Wardlow, Miro, Ricky Starks, and the rest of the gang.
I just like it. It seemed like they rushed whatever they were doing. You know, they
Fair,
had
it's a fact.
this. They were set up, and all of a sudden it was like, nah, go get my bags. Like, wow, where do we? Mercedes just burying this chick on TV every week. All right, how do
Once
we
we
get here?
labeled her the goofy gangster, son, that was the kiss of death, yo. It
There's
was over
bad
for
news
her.
on these sides.
It was over for her. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? She joins a long list of people in AEW that are just wilding to see the light of day in their wrestling careers in 2025. So, it's going to be tough, man. I think we see a couple of them pop up in NXT. Wardlow, Ricky Starks to be included. Miro, I think, will return under a Don Callis management, and I think he'll be like the $1 million man, like on some like, yo, my gimmick is I'm basically just showing up to do my job because I'm trying to get signed over here, and Don Callis is going to be brokering that deal. I think that'll
That's
be like Miro's shit.
that'd be pretty funny if it wasn't like legitimate WWE. You know what I mean? It'd be funny if it wasn't.
That's what I think he's getting. I think Miro will come back and finally just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna play into the role of like the yo. I'm just
Here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see way less meta storylines. Like, meaning, I don't need anybody to ever say I want to be the face of a brand or the face of a company or I want to save the company. I need you to have beef with another wrestler. You know what
I
I mean?
like
Like,
that.
I'm really good with. I used to really hate during what was it, when Randy Orton and John Cena were feuding over who the face of WWE was. I thought that shit was so corny. Like, you guys
That's
are
like
fighting
ages
over
ago,
who gets better marketing.
and even that seemed like a while of fucking go.
Yeah, like Cena, because that's when Triple H still had hair. Matter of fact, he had the buzz cut, but that was the Authority days.
Yeah, I
Stephanie
remember the cut,
McMahon was
man.
still on TV.
You remember the cut?
Like this whole John Cena speaking what we've been saying on the internet shit. I'm good with it.
Yes, I
Don't.
remember times.
I'm good with you reminding me about the things that I dislike about AEW. Like, just do better. Don't tell.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully it changes, turns around for the best
Yeah,
in
like generally speaking,
2025.
I don't need much more than that. Give me more, hey man, I dislike you or you're in the way, I'm trying to get there, you're here. Give me more of that. More heat, more like specific. I want to be where you are. I want your spot. I want your girl. I want your title. I want the bag. I want to be the number one person in this business, not because I want to be the face of a company, but because being the world champ gets me more money. Like
Yeah,
give me like things that
straight
I
up.
can sink my teeth into a little bit more so than these meta ass storylines about we got to restore the vibe and the feeling, and I don't need that shit.
Niggas restoring the feeling. That's gonna be the shit. Restoring the feeling for 2025,
Mhm. That's
man.
it. That was episode 113. That was 2024. That was the Ringside Club. I mean,
RSC, it's the Almighty, man. It's the good fellas. We here. Peace to
yeah,
Blame Bug.
piece to blame Bug. We'll
Like,
figure out what we are or aren't doing next week, but nonetheless, appreciate y'all for supporting, for tapping in,
like,
for the
subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
yeah,
The
for the good
Almighty.
sir Chad Lord on my left. You're right. My name is A.O. Baker, and this show is over.
Cheers to
Peace.
y'all, man. We am.